I am gonna be for real. I enjoyed it, but I did not enjoy it as much as the first 3 seasons. I'm gonna be for real. I liked certain episodes. I did. But I think it's because there are certain things I expect differently than other people with the show. I'm gonna put that out there because I know you probably love the crap out of it, but with me, it just wasn't my favorite season. Still up there though. I'd watch this show definitely over other shows, but this season right here, I was in and out a couple of times.
Number score?
I would give it a 7 out of 10.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because they would never understand.
On this podcast, I give authentic takes. We both give authentic takes, and I want to be real with y'all. I just want to be real on my perspective. It's not bad though, but it's not what I was expecting.
I appreciate and value.
We listen and we don't judge.
Listen, we don't judge.
No, we judge. We judge.
Okay. Season 4 of The Bear. Mm-hmm. Let me set the stage for you.
Okay.
The Bear is a show I love a lot. Dare I say it's one of my favorite shows of all time. Dare I say. Okay. Top 5, maybe even top 3 with Invincible. Actually, I think it'd be like Invincible and The Bear are like my shows. Those are the shows that I love so much. Season 4, I thought was absolutely incredible. Every second. The amount of times I had chills. The amount of times I'm like holding back tears. The laughs that I had throughout this season. This show is insane. I won't give season 4 of 10, but I'm gonna give it a 9.
Okay.
Because I agree with you. I don't think it's a season 2. I don't think it's like that. Season 2 is its peak.
Yeah.
For sure. Not even a question.
Oh yeah.
But I was explaining this to Anthony, my brother. I said this. I was like, you know what I think I love about The Bear so much? It's that season 2 is the best season, hands down. And then seasons 1, 3, and 4 are all just great. Great to incredible, you know? Season 2 is the peak, and then the rest of them are like, I can't even like compare them. Like they're all just so good, you know, that like it's not even worth comparing them to me. I could rank it for the TikTok clip, you know? But like, and like, I wouldn't be surprised if at some point we do that. But like, if I'm being dead serious with you, if you're having a one-on-one conversation with me about how much I love this show, I would not sit here and tell you that like any season goes over the other. You know, besides I just think season 2 is the best. Season 4 of The Bear is absolutely incredible. I think everything from the characters, from the story, from the tension to the comedy, to just everything. It was hitting like insanely hard. It was hitting like I don't want to spoil it. But this is the last thing I'll say before we talk about spoilers. I love how much this show has matured. This show is so much, and I think I said it. We talked about season 3 last year, like during the top 10s. This show is more than it's yelling. This show is more than them cussing. This show has matured so much, and the creator, Christopher something, I'll double check his name in a second, but I'm on a roll.
Keep going.
He has unwavered. He has not been like, you know what? Everyone likes how much they all yell at each other and scream, so let's just keep doing that. No. These characters have changed. All these characters have developed. These characters are all going through their own things that go beyond the kitchen. It's like everyone is dealing with stuff in their personal life, and they're not just constantly bringing it back to the kitchen and having them all yell and scream at each other. Now we see people finally dealing with things and like growing as people and changing and becoming better. So now let's talk about spoilers.
Well, before you say that, the creator is Christopher Storer.
Christopher Storer. That's what I'm gonna say. For this, I want to talk about spoilers really fast because I mainly just want to bring up I want to go through most of the characters. I want to bring up Carmi for a second because I think Carmi is where this like shines the most. Carmi being the yeller, I feel like he's the guy that's like constantly yelling and cussing and all that. Him quitting smoking is the first sign of change, right? Yeah. That was like him working on him. But for me, what did it was his conversation with his mom. And I almost started crying. Like, actually, like, I was like chills. Whoops. I was at work, and I'm sitting there. Phil, I'm not even kidding. I'm sitting there with my headphones on outside. And, like, I've
Tomato episode, right?
Huh?
Tomato episode.
And I have people coming up to me, and I'm sitting there like this, like, trying to hold it back because I'm at work. Mm-hmm. And I was just like, dude, their conversation is so good.
Yeah.
And the way Jamie Lee Curtis, I forgot like the mom's name, but like Jamie Lee Curtis, the way she has like developed in that character so well, dude. From the Christmas episode to Sugar's pregnancy episode to this, I'm like, wow, dude, that's someone who's changing. What I love about this show so much is it's the best reminder that I think everyone needs.
Yep.
And it's that everyone can change. Everyone can change as long as they're willing. We were talking about Squid Games, and the director said the world's going bad. This is a sign of hope for the world, whatever. But I think the way he did it is fairly generic. Everyone does it like this. The Bear takes serious time and focus and these long one-shot dialogue moments to really delve into these characters and understand where they're at, what they're thinking, and how they can improve. And I love it for that. Every time the camera's on the person, I'm like, dude, how are they still acting? Mm-hmm. Like, this is insane. How are they still going? This season is as close to perfection as you're going to get. Mm-hmm. I love it so much. It's so good, so good. Carmi still texting his brother killed me. That, like, I hated it, but, like, I didn't hate it. I just, like, it, like, made me really sad. Like, I care so deeply about every single one of these characters, and I want to see them succeed so much.
Yeah.
A standout for me, and I'll let you go after, but a standout for me was the episode with, like, the reviewer, the guy that works at the magazine, they don't know that. And they do the snow and the pizza for the or not the pizza. Sorry, they do like the snow for the people. Was it pizza? Is that what they gave her? She like wanted to try.
It was ice cream. It was sometimes dessert.
I don't remember. Regardless,
it was scallops, right? That episode.
Yes, probably.
Wait.
It doesn't matter when they surprised that like
episode 2.
When they surprised the girl who just gotten like through cancer.
Yeah.
And they like give her the snow and all that, dude. And like they're all having a good time, and then the reviewers just smiling at them. I was like, bro, chills, dude. Yep. I want to see them succeed so much.
Exactly.
So good. It's so good. I want to talk more about it, but I want you to go a little bit. If you want to give some specifics, some spoilers, explain yourself a little bit.
Well, before we do go on, Jamie Lee Curtis's name was Donna Borsato.
Donna, that's right.
Donna. But yeah, like I love what you said about how this show keeps maturing, like each season. Like that's what I appreciate about it. Like without a doubt. Like I appreciated the talks, like you saying that them seeming like they like how do you still act in these long takes of them having these dialogues and monologues in these certain scenes. They were amazing. Like I want to shout out the episode between Carmi and his ex-girlfriend or girlfriend Claire.
Oh my gosh.
That conversation there.
Dude.
If you all have a hard time, like me, trying to apologize to a person because you know you're in the wrong, but you're trying to get your words right, that was literally the embodiment of how a conversation like that would go. Like Carmi going up, trying to talk to her, she's angry too, but she doesn't want to talk, and then they just slowly they just keep rising and rising with that anger, and next thing you know, I'm sorry. That is exactly how it goes in real life, bro. That's what I appreciate. And then that episode when it shows Sid with, I believe it was a family friend or a cousin.
Yeah.
And she was chilling with her daughter and like just talking with her about life. I loved that episode. I loved it. I think that the only reason. Oh, and I want to mention the wedding. I was thinking wedding.
Yeah,
episode.
I wanted to talk about that episode specifically.
Like, I love that one, and I love how everybody was trying not to, like, repeat that dinner episode.
Yeah.
And I love how that was almost like a revival of, like, or a redemption of...
Because no one was yelling and screaming at each other.
Except for stinking Brie Larson.
Oh, yeah. Fack.
Oh, yeah.
Facts.
What's her name? Francie?
Francie. Yeah, Francie Fack.
Francie Fack.
So
and
good.
You find out why, but then like I love how they still dealt with that maturely and they like apologized to each other and still cared for each other.
I thought that was funny. It was like that yelling felt more comedic than like serious.
Yeah, but like that episode was just so good because, like, you have the dinner episode where everybody's just angry and pissed off for different reasons and because stuff is going on. And then, like, the car crash or the car going through the stinking wall. But then you have this wedding where, like, you know everybody doesn't want that to repeat. That's the most like, the one thing that is on everybody's mind. Let's not have a moment. Let's not have a moment. Let's not have a moment. Let's just make this a nice day. And the thing that made me love that episode so much is when the whole episode is almost about the stepdad trying to, like, have a moment with his daughter, with his new daughter. And then Richie and Carmi and everybody go under the table. And they're talking about how, like, you know, they're scared too. Because the daughter, I just love how she was to me, she was the heart of that episode. Because she brought out what everybody was, like, scared of or what everybody was feeling. And, like, she's like, I'm scared to go dance. And everybody's like, well, why are you scared? Like, you know, I'm scared. And she's like, really? And then everybody's starting to realize, like, what they're truly scared of. And if it's really, like, a scary thing for them, if they can face it, if they have to face it, or if they, like, it was kind of like an encouragement for them to face what they're doing. Like, and, you know, the way I'm sounding right now, it sounds like I love this season. Like, don't get me wrong, I liked it. But I think the one thing that I love about this show is chaos. I do love that because those kitchen scenes make me love it a lot. And I know this may be a bad critique, but, like, having 1 or 2 or 3 of those episodes of them just, like, yelling in the kitchen. I'm not expecting yelling, but I guess I was hoping to see, like, them in a dinner service besides the snow and everything. Just, like, a whole 30-minute shot that almost seems like a one take of them just working in unison. Like, finally just got it figured out. And then they're just going, boom, boom, plate. And then it's just a perfect dinner service for, like, just one episode.
But they did do that.
Which one?
There was that episode. Remember when, like, it's all red and they're freaking out, and then like it starts getting the green and the green and the green. And it's like, wow. And then even, like, I think Tina's development where she finally is able to, like, get the pasta at 3.
That was good. That was the last episode, right? Mm-hmm. No, that wasn't Goodbye, was it?
It was either episode 9 or 10.
Yeah.
It was one of the two. But I just think, like, for me, I think at this point in the show, we're bound to get one more, like, something bad happens in the kitchen. It's super chaotic. It's going to happen once. You know, you need that, like, look, we're all changed. We're better. And then we immediately go back. Look how bad we are, whatever. That's going to happen. That's just normal show. But I do think the show doesn't need those scenes anymore because if it did happen, like, 1 or 2 times more than it does already, then it kind of shows that everyone's really the same and, like, no one's really changed. These people aren't growing. But all these people have chemistry. All of them work together now. It's not like Carmi's coming in, he's trying to change the entire system and then rebuild this whole thing and then do that. A lot of the yelling and the arguments, the screaming now happens in, like, real conversations. I think of the last episode with him and Richie when they're yelling at each other and he's like...
That was a really good episode.
So good. And I think, like... Really, that's where a lot of the yelling comes from. It's them, like, hating each other.
Yeah.
Them, like, butting heads all the time. But now that, like, they all know their roles in the kitchen, that doesn't happen as often. So now it's about how, like, the situations they're dealing with personally outside of the kitchen, that's when they're still butting heads. Richie and Carmi are still good. They weren't good, at least.
Yeah.
It wasn't until that they finally had that conversation.
Finally communicated.
And it's freaking great, dude. I remember I was on IMDb, I, like, ranking the episodes, and I was looking at it, and I'm like, is that a 10? Like, I think of, I gave the wedding episode a 10. I think it's incredible. Like, Fishes, the Richie episode is a 10. Forks, that's the Christmas episode, that's a 10. The finale of season 2, 10. The expo episode, like, get the fuck off my expo shit now. That episode is a 10.
Yep.
The final episode of that show, 10. Those are, like, the 10s for me, you know? Everything else, like, 8s, 7s, 9s, you know, like, it wavers. And I was like, why do what separates a 10 from a 9 or a 9? And it's the dialogue. Yep. It's the characters going through something major. That's always when I'm like, okay, I'm in. That episode had that. And low-key, I think that episode might have had it the best out of most of them. I think season 2, other than season 2, I think that episode had that, like, big conversation the best. It was so good. The payoff was so great. The episode with Sid and her dad, hit. It wasn't a specific episode. It was like near the end of the episode, and then so funny story. I had to walk out of my room. I had to go deal with something. I come back in my room and I see Sid crying, and I'm like, "What the heck? What happened? Like, oh my gosh! Like, she looks like she's in a hospital. I'm freaking out." So I go back to the previous episode to like finish it because they like kept playing, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, dude! Like, her dad's dead. Like, really? Like, are you serious right now?" And then I watched the episode. I'm like, no, he's fine, thank God. But like watching her,
I was worried about that.
That conversation with Claire was insane. Like, it was such a great conversation for two characters that don't even really interact, but like they just connected. So like they just connected on like a much deeper level, and that relationship now exists. And like now that's like another interaction that I can't wait to see. And this is what I was gonna say. Every conversation feels so real, and I was gonna bring it back. I forgot what episode Claire and Carmi's like argument, and like him apologizing. You said it. You were like, if you've ever tried to apologize to someone when you were in the wrong, that is how it usually goes.
Yeah,
I think that's why I like this show so much, because even it's like drama, it's not super dramatic. It always feels more real.
Yeah,
I feel like it's never like this big like, no, you did this. Oh yeah, you did that. Oh, but like, we love each other. It's okay. It's drawn out more than that. It's dealt with in a very real way. Claire and him get that argument, and you think it's fine, like they're good, but then they blow up again, and then she leaves. Yeah. And it's like, okay, I think things are getting better, but like that'd be unrealistic if they were like, yeah, we're fine, we love each other, and we're done. Like if they actually kissed. They had that moment where they look at each other, and then she's like gets mad and she leaves. Like, that felt real. Like, that felt like a real thing where she's, like, trying to come back, but she doesn't. I think of Richie and Carmen when they're arguing, where, like, Richie gets in his face, and he's like, what do you think? But he doesn't immediately just start, like, punching him and beating him up. He, like, gets in his face, gets mad, and then since he has such a strong connection with Sid, when Sid tells him to stop, he backs up, and he's like, all right, cousin, let me hear you out, you know? And then they talk, and then it's great, and it's good, but even then, it doesn't end with them being like, oh yeah, I love each other. Yeah. It's like he's still mad. He's still bad, but he's learning to forgive him. He's like, you know what? Like, I understand him. They connected on a deeper level, but it doesn't mean everything that happened is gone. You know, like there's still problems. I love the show for that. Last conversation that I love so much is Sugar and Carmi's conversation. I think like third episode's like beginning of the season. Yeah. When she's like, Carmi, you left to go do this thing that you love. Maybe it's okay that you don't love this thing anymore. Yeah. Can I tell you I love the direction? I love that direction for the show. Leading into the finale and him saying, I want to leave. Yeah. I love that. That is good growth. That is the best growth. Because everyone reacted in the way that they should. They were mad. They were upset. No one even really was like, yeah, never mind, you're good, except Sugar. Because when, dude, I almost started crying when Sugar hugged him. Because when she hugged him, she was like that was basically her, like, saying, like, wow, like, my brother's growing. Yeah. My brother's finally trying to get better. This is television, my guy. Exactly. This is straight television, bro.
Another thing I wanted to bring up, just real quick, but what you said about the whole, like what is this show doing that's so good, and like just how they're directing certain scenes. They're staying in the moment. That's what they're doing. They're staying in the moment, and that's like you saying that thing about Claire and Carmi, where it's like, oh, like the cliche way would have been, oh, let's make up and then we're good again, but it wasn't. It took time, and I was gonna go like, I think that is what's so good. They leave you in that moment. They leave you, and I think that was perfect that the wedding scene kind of brought all that together. Like the wedding scene, everybody's under the table. Yeah. Because then they actually kind of got to heal and actually be like, yo, like, maybe we are. Like, it helped people try to pretty much figure out, like, the crap they're dealing with in their lives. Like, it gave them a breath of fresh air for a second. Because, you know, in the show, they're always, like, going 10,000 miles an hour.
Yeah, totally.
So, you saying they're staying, like that thing, and then me going, like, they're staying in that moment. I think that's the most, like, the perfect thing they do in this show. Because there's 100%. So many, like, that last conversation, I was wondering how long this, like, conversation was going to take, but then when Richie came in, I was like, oh, it's getting...
Dude, it was the whole episode, right?
It was the whole episode. The last episode was the whole episode, just them sitting outside talking, and I liked it. I was like, this is the moment they've needed. Like, and then even when she finds out Carmi's not coming back because of the whole contract thing with Pete and stuff, and then Carmi brings up, yeah, well, you've been trying to leave, and then she's like, don't do that, and then she starts fessing up about how she felt about it, and then Richie comes outside. I'm like, oh shoot! So now what are they gonna deal with? And then they bring up Michael and his funeral, and I was like, oh man, this is deep. And then his sister comes out, and it's like, oh, this is how it wraps up. This is how it wraps up. It's perfect. And instead of her freaking out on him and everything, she cries and it seems like happy. She goes and hugs him, and that's the end of the show. And I'm like, that's a pretty good ending.
So good. Really fast. I liked that final episode so much because Carmi trying to explain himself, because everyone just assumed Carmi's being same old Carmi. Like, oh, you're going to leave when things are bad. You always do that, whatever. And he's like, that's not what I'm doing. That's not what this is. That's not what it is. And again, that feels like a real conversation.
Exactly.
People are talking over each other constantly. He's like, no, I'm trying to explain to you. And he says that like 7 times. I'm trying to explain to you. Like, and he's like, no. And like, to most people, I think that would be annoying because like even me watching it, even me watching it, I'm getting annoyed. I'm like, just listen to him. Like, listen. Like, you're not letting him talk.
I was getting mad for a second. I was like, Sid, shut up. Let him finish.
But what I'll say is, we would all be like Richie and Sid in that exact same situation.
Exactly.
So I can't blame them for trying to talk over each other.
Yeah.
And what I love about the show is they don't let things play out in like in a script way. It feels very much like a real life way.
Yeah.
This show is real life. Like, this feels, the relationships are so real. The conversations are so real. Their growth is so real. Everything, dude. And let's talk about my boy Marcus, who freaking is up, baby.
Congratulations,
He's up,
man.
baby. Oh my gosh, him getting that. I thought it was gonna be Sid. I was so confident it was gonna be Sid.
I thought it was gonna be Sid,
and then
too.
freaking Sugar. She's like, Marcus, and I'm like, no way. Like, let's go, like, go. He's so great. I love him so much too. Everyone just improving. I can't wait for the show to be done so I can watch it from beginning to end and be like, wow. Like, look at how these people grown. It got renewed for season 5.
Yep.
Personally, I think the show gets one more season after and it's done. Maybe 2. I think season 6, though, like, makes sense, especially if season 5 is them now trying to make a profit for the restaurant. And then season 6 is like epilogue, Carmi's gone, he's not cooking, how's his life going? You know? Because I think if they renewed it for season 5, they would have said it's the final season already. So I feel like they're going to do season 6. Hulu, I swear if you cancel this show, I swear on everything, if you cancel this show,
when this show or if this show ends.
I just dropped coffee on myself.
Oh, that sucks.
No, I don't care.
While he's cleaning that up, I do not want any spinoffs for this show. I don't want
hell
any
no.
movies. I don't want any continuations. When you say it's the final season of The Bear, that's the final everything of The Bear, in my opinion. Like, there are probably going to be some fans going like, oh, like, let's do something with Sugar. Let's do something with Jimmy.
My gosh, I'd hate that so much.
There needs to be nothing. Like, this is the first show where I'm like, I don't see another path anywhere. Like, I literally don't. I don't see let's do something on another restaurant. I don't see that. I don't see it working well. Like, I think once it's done, it's done.
They call it The Beef, and it's a prequel series telling Mikey's story before he kills himself.
I don't want that.
That's what I'm saying. Like, that would be so stupid.
Oh, yeah. I don't want any of that. So, just to finish my points off on this, please don't make any spinoffs.
Hell no.
Please just keep it as clear as it is. And when it's done, it's done. That's my vote.
It's done. That's it.
I'm just letting you, if you have anything else.
Oh, any final things? Yeah, don't do spinoffs. I'll actually, like, be very upset. I'll be very, 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 very frustrated if they were like, sequel series for The Bear called The Beef, where we talk about the franchise of it now because it's this multi-million-dollar company. Don't do that. I think it loses the, like, complete point of the show.
Yeah.
The Bear isn't great because it's the kitchen. The Bear is great because it's about the Bear's autos. That's why it's great. And I don't need more stuff about any one of them.
Yeah.
Because the show does a great job of like giving me just enough to latch onto, but it doesn't show me everything. I am waiting for the episode when they do Mikey's funeral. It's gonna happen.
Oh, it is.
100%.
It has to
If they
happen.
never did it, I wouldn't be upset.
What if that's the last episode? What if that would be the last episode?
That'd be a weird final episode.
The
Like,
second
of the-
to last episode.
Yeah, that makes more sense.
Because I feel like that would low-key be a good way to, like, kind of wrap everything up, but then lead to the final, like...
Yeah, I think a second to last episode would make more sense.
Yeah.
The final episode ending off of like a flashback would be kind of weird. Like then it's like, but what happened to everyone else in the future? You know?
I wonder, what would you do if you made that episode? Would you title it Mikey or Funeral?
Probably funeral. I feel like that makes more sense of how they title things.
Got you.
But then it'd be a throw off, and it's like, actually, Sugar's dead.
Richie died.
Yeah, yeah.
Sugar!
Yeah. I don't know, I
What?
just
That's
like
getting
random.
on playing, but yeah.
But yeah, I love The Bear so much. I think it has high potential to be. I think it already is like one of my favorite shows of all time. I love it so much. I relate to it in a lot of ways. It feels like my family. Like it just like, I think that's why I like it so much. I come from a big family. Like a lot of people. Like you go to a family function. My brother's graduation party just happened.
Mr. O'Kill.
It literally was where like people are coming up to me and they're like, "Oh, hi." Well, like, and it's just like, dude, like this is insane. I don't realize how many people are in my family. So I love it about the show so much. Like I love that style. I love that gives me something to relate to. But also I just relate to a lot of the characters. I think a lot of their struggles and their thoughts are very relatable. And I think it's a show that I think most people can relate to, and I think it's a really great show. Again, we complain about not supporting original ideas, and then you guys show something that y'all aren't watching. So you know what? Shut up. Watch The Bear.